Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is going to be on Pythagoras theorem. But for us to understand or for us to solve any given question under Pythagoras theorem, we need to understand what the law states. Of course, the law of Pythagoras theorem states that the sum or the square of the hypotenuse is equals to the sum of the two legs. This right angle triangle here will help us to understand what the law states clearer or better, right? So I have a right triangle right here on the board. This is the right angle triangle. You can name it A, B, and C. Okay, so we can give this, our AB is our hypotenuse. Okay, and this is the leg. This is the first leg of the hypotenuse, wide of the right angle triangle, sorry. And this is the second leg of the right angle triangle. So going by the law, we recall that the law states that the square of the hypotenuse, so hypotenuse squared is equals to the sum of these two legs. And note that the first leg is also squared and the second leg is also squared. Are we good? So we can decide to say the opposite of this first A is small letter A. Why the opposite of this is this? Why the opposite for this is B? All right, so we can square it. Our hypotenuse is C squared, B squared. The first and the second leg are also squared. So going by the law of Pythagoras theorem, we state that the square of the hypotenuse, we can write it down out. Hypotenuse squared equals to the sum of the two legs. That is leg 1 plus leg 2. Remember that both legs are also squared. Leg 1 is squared, leg 2 is squared. So they are both what? They are both squared. So we square them out and show them out. Okay? So what is our hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is C squared equals to, the first leg is A squared plus B squared. So this is the law of Pythagoras theorem. With this law in mind, you can solve any given question under Pythagoras theorem, of which we are going to be solving at least 2 questions on Pythagoras theorem today. Okay, so I hope you remember the law or the Pythagoras theorem law. Pythagoras theorem law states that the square of the hypotenuse, which happens to be the longest side of the right angle triangle, is equals to the sum of the two legs, both squared, right? So hypotenuse square equals to leg 1 squared plus what? Leg 2 squared. So since our hypotenuse is C squared, we can give it as what? C squared equals to what? The first leg is A squared plus what? B squared, the second leg. So this is the law of the Pythagoras theorem. So with this law, we are good to go. We are good to solve any given question on the Pythagoras theorem. So here's the first question we are going to be solving on Pythagoras. We are given a right triangle. Here is the right triangle ABC, and we are told that the two legs, one of the leg is 3, while the other leg is 4. But we do not know the hypotenuse. So we are asked to look for the hypotenuse. Going by the formula or going by the law of Pythagoras theorem, we state that C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. Or you can say your hypotenuse, recall that this is your C squared. This is C, this is A, and this is what? B. Leg 1 is your A, leg 2 is your B, while this is your hypotenuse. So or you can as well say hypotenuse squared equals to leg 1 square plus leg 2 square. So whichever one that you will quickly recall, or you can easily come by, you can just use it. It still means the same thing. So with this formula or with this law, you can solve the given question. All you need to do is to substitute that what into this given law or given formula. What is the hypotenuse? Our hypotenuse is c squared, which we do not know. Then the a square, or the first leg, is what? 3 squared plus, what is the leg 2, or the b square is what? 4 square. So we have c squared to be equals to what? What is 3 square? 3 square means 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus what? What is 4 square? 4 square is 4 times 4, which is what? 16. So we sum it up. C square equals to what? 25. So we need to square root both sides to get the value for C. This cancel out. So what is the square root of 25? We can use prime factorization to determine the square root of 25, or the square root of any given number. So using prime factorization to determine the square root, you draw out something that looks like your LCM sign. You have 25. So what can divide? Of course, is 5. 25 divided 5 is 5. 5 can still go. 5 divided 5 is 1. So we stop at 1. Okay, so we group this in twos and make this 5 to be 1. So the square root of 25 is what? 5. So C equals to what? 5, because 5 times 5 is what? 25. So this is our hypotenuse, which is what? 5. So our an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, the both sides of an isosceles triangle, they are equal, right? So going by that, we are given the legs of length to be 4. So that means this place is 4, this place is 4. We are asked to find the hypotenuse. So here is the hypotenuse that we are asked to determine. You know, recall that your hypotenuse is c squared. This is your a square. This is your what? B square. So going by the law of Pythagorean theorem, we have c square equals to a square plus what? B square. All right. So like I said, we have c square equals to a square plus b square. Our c square is our hypotenuse. C square equals to a square is 4 square plus 4 square. So c square equals to 4 times 4 is 16 plus 16. C square equals to 32. We square root both sides. We can also use prime factorization to determine the square root of 32. Of course, when you square root this, you square both sides. This we cancel out. So C equals to, using prime factorization, we have 32. So 2 can be divisible. 32 can divide 2. So we have 16 times. 16 divided 2 again is 8. 8 divided 2 is 4. 4 divided 2 is 2. 2 divided 2 is 1. So we stop there. Then we group it as usual. This is 1. This is 2. So we have 1, 2 that is left. So the square root of 32, C equals to what? 2 times 2, which is 4. Root 2. So the square root of 32 is what? 4 root 2. And that answers the given question.